Dark, ominous clouds gathered above Osowiec fortress. A suffocating tension hung in the air, thick and heavy. Distant explosions rumbled like thunder, a constant reminder of the ongoing war. The year was 1915, and the world was embroiled in the largest conflict it had ever seen. Osowiec, a formidable stronghold in Russian Poland, stood as a sentinel against the relentless German advance. Its thick walls and strategic location on the Eastern Front made it a vital asset for the Russian Empire. For months, the fortress had withstood relentless German assaults. But the enemy was preparing something far more sinister, a weapon that would etch this day into the annals of history. The men inside the fortress were weary, battle-hardened veterans of countless skirmishes. They had faced artillery bombardments and infantry charges with unwavering courage. But nothing could have prepared them for the horror that was about to be unleashed. The Germans were about to unveil a new weapon, a terrifying harbinger of modern warfare: chlorine gas. The Eastern Front of World War I was a vast and unforgiving battleground. It stretched for hundreds of miles, from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. Here, millions of soldiers clashed in a brutal war of attrition. Empires clashed, their ambitions fueled by nationalism and a thirst for power. The Russian Empire, vast and sprawling, faced the combined might of the German and Austro-Hungarian armies. The fighting was fierce and relentless, marked by staggering casualties on both sides. Osowiec fortress, strategically positioned among swamps and marshes, became a symbol of Russian resistance. The Germans knew that capturing Osowiec would be a significant victory. It would pave the way for their advance into the Russian heartland. They had already launched several massive assaults on the fortress, but each one had been repelled with heavy losses. Desperate for a breakthrough, the German High Command turned to a new and terrifying weapon. This weapon, chlorine gas, was a horrifying departure from traditional warfare. It was a silent, invisible killer that could clear trenches and neutralize enemy defenses with terrifying efficiency. The stage was set for a confrontation that would forever be remembered as the attack of the dead men. The morning of August 6th dawned like any other. A thick fog hung low over the battlefield, shrouding the fortress in an eerie silence. The defenders, exhausted but resolute, manned their positions, unaware of the impending doom. At 4 a.m. the wind shifted, blowing steadily towards the Russian lines. It was the moment the Germans had been waiting for. With chilling precision, they released over 168 tons of chlorine gas from thousands of cylinders. A dense yellowish-green cloud over half a mile wide rolled silently towards the Russian trenches. The impact was immediate and devastating. The chlorine gas, heavier than air, settled into the Russian trenches, engulfing everything in its path. Men screamed as their lungs burned, their cries turning into gurgling gasps. Those who inhaled the gas experienced excruciating pain, their bodies racked with violent coughs. Within minutes, thousands of Russian soldiers were dead, suffocated by the invisible killer. The lucky ones died quickly. Others lingered, choking and gasping for air, their lungs slowly dissolving from the inside out. The scene was one of unimaginable horror, a testament to the brutal efficiency of chemical warfare. Section 4. Through the haze, figures emerge. The German commanders watched the unfolding carnage with grim satisfaction. They believed their plan had worked. Osowiec, they were certain, would finally fall. As the gas cloud slowly dissipated, they ordered their troops forward, expecting little resistance. However, as the first German soldiers cautiously approached the Russian lines, they were met with a sight that chilled them to the bone. Through the lingering haze of the gas attack, shadowy figures emerged from the trenches. Their uniforms were in tatters, their bodies covered in blisters and vomit, their faces twisted in pain. These were the survivors of the gas attack, the walking wounded, barely clinging to life. But their eyes burned with an eerie light, a mixture of fury and desperation. They had witnessed the horrors of chemical warfare firsthand, and they were determined to make the enemy pay. Coughing and wheezing, these skeletal figures, the very embodiment of death itself, leveled their rifles and charged. The sight of these dead men rising from the trenches, their ragged breathing audible even over the din of battle, was too much for the German soldiers. Section 5. Terror before the Walking Dead. The German soldiers, expecting an easy victory, were met not with the silence of the dead, but with the terrifying roar of the living dead. The sight of those Russian soldiers, transformed into avenging spirits by the very weapon meant to kill them, was too much. Panic spread through the German ranks like wildfire. Seasoned veterans, hardened by years of combat, broke and ran. They had never seen anything like it. This wasn't how war was supposed to be fought. It was one thing to face an enemy in open combat, but to be attacked by these creatures, it was unthinkable. The element of surprise, the sheer otherworldly horror of the situation, proved more effective than any artillery barrage. The Germans, convinced they were facing an army from beyond the grave, retreated in disarray. The Russians, fueled by adrenaline and vengeance, pursued their fleeing enemy. Every cough, every rasping breath was a testament to their unbearable suffering and their unwavering courage. They were determined to make the Germans pay for the horrors they had unleashed. Section 6. Victory from the jaws of defeat. The counterattack, later known as the Attack of the Dead Men, was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Russian soldiers. Outnumbered, outgunned, and subjected to a horrific chemical attack, they had still managed to rally and drive back the enemy. The Germans, their ranks shattered by fear and panic, were routed. They left behind their dead and wounded, their artillery pieces, and their dreams of an easy victory. Ossowiec fortress, against all odds, had held. The victory came at a terrible cost. Of the 900 Russian defenders, fewer than 200 remained combat effective. Many of those who survived the initial gas attack later succumbed to their injuries. But their sacrifice bought valuable time for the Russian army. The defense of Ossowiec fortress would go down in history as one of the most courageous and improbable military feats of World War I. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the capacity for extraordinary bravery, even in the face of certain death. Section 7. Echoes of Valor, Ossowiec's enduring legacy. News of the Attack of the Dead Men spread quickly, becoming a source of inspiration and terror in equal measure. For the Russians, it was a tale of unimaginable courage, a symbol of their nation's unwavering spirit. For the Germans, it was a chilling reminder of the horrors of war and the unpredictable nature of the battlefield. Though the Russians eventually abandoned Ossowiec fortress a few months later for strategic reasons, the legend of the dead men lived on. It became a symbol of the futility of war and the enduring power of the human spirit. The story of Ossowiec serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of war. The soldiers who fought and died there, both Russian and German, were caught in a conflict of unimaginable brutality. Their stories, often lost in the vast narrative of World War I, deserve to be remembered. The Attack of the Dead Men stands as a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Even in the face of unimaginable suffering and certain death, courage can prevail. It is a story that continues to resonate today, a reminder of the horrors of war and the timeless values of bravery, resilience, and sacrifice.